Hey guys, B2. I'm going to be talking specifically about how to boost your economic and military values from mid game to end game. I'm going to give you some specific strategies, so stay tuned. So here we have the game where I'm actually playing Vietnam. It's game number, let me see, 2962560. So I've been at this game for a while. We're in day 32 overall. Not a bad actual time to end the game. You can see here on the team progress, we are only like, I don't know, 325 VP away from winning. So it's going to happen tonight. And the only reason I'm so sure about that is if you look around the map, there's a bunch of cities that we've taken in South America. There's a bunch of VPs that have been taken. Like, it's going to happen. And we also have the end game here. I've actually never seen this before. I've been playing this game for about 3 years on and off. There's only 5 active players left in the game. We have systematically wiped out every active player on here, and so when you look at the diplomacy menu, you're going to see that we're still the top 5, and then you can tell because everyone started leaving all their alliances. Peru will even leave probably today. They'll probably be done. That this end of game popped up probably last night around, I don't know, 8 o'clock or so. But you can see how we've pretty much knocked Cuba out of the game. He's got three towns left. U.S. 2, Mozambique 6. The rest is just divided up on here. So the thought occurred to me, it's like, how do I get my overall player score up, right? So if I look at my my player score here, it's going to show a bunch of stats. Games joined, provinces captured, provinces lost. So you can always tell a player how good they are based on this ratio. Because who cares if I had 9,000 captured and I lost 8,000 of them? That means that I'm just running out and grabbing a bunch of VP and then circling my guy back to my town, and then they're just getting recaptured. They don't do you any good. They don't generate manpower or income. So that is just a horrible way to gather, right? And then coalition wins, solo wins. Like, haven't really done much on the coalition side. I did some solo stuff way back when and did very well. But it can show here's where you look at your overall rank, right? So you'll see an incredibly lopsided military to economic, right? So even if you look at the top players on there, so, and I'm going to go and look at the top ones later, but I just wanted to point this out, right? So overall ranked, I'm 856 in economic. I do really well on the economic side, and it boosts this overall rank. So let's take a look, right? If I look at the ranking and I look at the top players and I say, wow, this is lopsided. Look at it. This is even worse. Like, it's twice. Now, they're top players because they're good players. I would imagine they play probably 8 to 10 games apiece for years. I know Andy. I've played with Andy before. I've played with Cyclone before. I've played with Krang before. Like, these guys are incredibly great at strategy. But what they could do if they wanted to move up higher in the ranks, I'm going to show you, right? So we're at the end of the game. It's 12:14 my time, which means I have 6 hours and 15 minutes before the next reset up here, basically. Or, well, I guess if you go off the game clock, that's what, 1800, 6 hours and 5 minutes. It's a little bit off the game clock to the actual time. So if I look through on my cities, I'd look and say, what can I do in 6 hours to either boost my military score or my economic score, right? So first of all, if you look at your buildings, you can see I'm even finishing, like I finished a hospital right there, right? I've got all of these cities that I can build in. So the first thing you can do is look for recruiting offices, right? This one's a day, it's a day. So if I do this and I hit it backwards and go down to the bottom here, I'm going to have a whole bunch of cities that don't have a recruiting office in there, and look how easy they are to build, right? So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to build a recruiting office. 40 minutes to build it, and I'm going to get the economic boost for having that building, right? So I'm going to come down here, and I'm just going to do this until I run out of resources, basically. So I'm going to build a recruiting office there, level 1. It's done in 30 minutes. I'm going to have all these buildings pumped out because we are in the very end. So I can repair this air base too. We're going to do that because that's going to actually get repaired by the time we circle back around to the recruiting. That's a repair there for 1:55. We're going to do that. And then let's see, repair this one for a minute. Yep, we're going to do that. I'm not going to run out of money, but I am going to run out of resources. So if I look, there's nothing to buy either, right? Now, if there was resources to buy this late in the game, I'd actually be surprised. But I'm going to keep just moving down. This airfield, let's repair that. super cheap and light on resources. Another army base, let's repair that. Like, what you're doing is you're stacking your economic advantage right now, and you're going to end up in a really good spot. So there's a 2-minute right there. So we're going to start this army base, then we're going to circle back around if we have enough resources and do, but I don't think we are. We're going to be limited to recruiting from here on out. But you're going to see these buildings start to finish, and it's going to boost your overall score. Great strat. Like, there we go. Let's get an army base in there. We're definitely not going to lose any. We're not going to lose any cities because there's nobody playing. The computer's not going to be that aggressive in this sort of game. And so here we are. We're out of resources, right? 115. But we do have 405 left, and we have 6 hours. So I'm going to log back in at about 5:30 my time. I'm going to run the last few buildings out and continue to boost that economic score so that it reports back over here. Now, look, I was ranked, I don't know, 3,100 or so. Gosh, I don't know, about a month ago. So I've been fighting and clawing my way back up. I still have an uphill battle to go, and I'm not going to be able to run the amount of games these top players run. But you know, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for the long term. So I'm going to be able to pump that out. So the other thing you have to consider is on the map, if you were going, see, there you go. Economic is boosting right there. Every time a building is done on here, we're getting an economic boost. The other thing to consider is if you're in a game where there are players that that you're close to battling, right? Like, let's say if we were down in here and there's a bunch of guys in these cities. Now I know they're empty because in India and Japan have run carriers and they've shot planes out, because what they're doing is they're boosting their military, right? It's late game. They're gonna run their carrier teams. They're gonna run their ground units. They're gonna go to cities where they can actually kill other enemy units to boost their military score. So that's also a strategy that you want to use. I prefer the ground units because I'm going to chew up this territory here, and I'm going to increase my VP on the main page, right? So if you look at like the total number of cities versus like VPs, like Iran has taken a lot of cities, less VP. I guess it's kind of on the average, but you'll have a higher VP total when you're using your ground units to fill in all of this. Every one of these is worth 1. And look, no one's coming out here to grab these. Like, once you take them, it's going to be rare that if you're advancing on someone, they're going to send a unit out to try to take land back, right? So once you have land, it's also going to run you into this manpower. It's going to boost up 355 an hour, which means I can pump out another infantry every 3 hours or so, and start a new unit every 3 hours. So if I'm looking at all my cities that can produce, now I'm getting plenty of manpower, there's no shortage, and plenty of money, which means I could really go into the intel screen, right, and start running intel on some of these cities. If I wanted to see who was in Sierra, I could go in here, hire an agent, available agent, and then go in here and just look for intelligence. I could hire another one and do corruption. This will recruit a new agent. Yep. So I'm going to recruit 3 agents, and then boom, I'm going to sabotage down here, and you'll see that you have on the map all the intel things. So I'll probably do a video on intel. It's extremely valuable. The problem is that when you get into like these sort of things, they're going to cost you gold, right? But you can actually reveal for 15k gold all of a nation's forces. So if you're a gold spender, like, that's a huge boost right there. You can reveal local forces, like in a particular area, and we'll go over that in a separate video. I don't want to get too sidetracked off of boosting economic development, right? So if I look at what I'm doing here at the end of the game, I'm just going to send. Okay, let me break it down this way. This city right here, if I look at the morale, I'm not going to need to do a lot, right? It's a 0% insurgency because I have 7 units in there. But I don't need to keep 7 units in there. I just need 2, right? These guys are extremely powerful, and they defend at 8.1. So if anything is going to, if a rogue is going to pop up there, I don't need a lot of forces in there. I need to keep moving forward and pressing forward. So what you're going to do is you're going to split your units and pull 3 here, right? Leaving 2 behind, and you're going to go down to the next city. So there's no territories in here that I'm not, well, I guess this one over here. Yeah, so right here. We're going to go ahead and waypoint this one down. We missed a couple of territories on the way by. I must have been going right for the cities on there. But now, can I get down here in time to get these two. Yeah, so within 6 hours, I'm going to take 2 more VP. It's 2 more points. It's 2 more, let's say, for instance, someone comes back alive and stops us from getting our 5920, then we're going to be 2 more provinces where we're making money and they're losing money, right? So you can notice here, Japan took this big swath right here out. So I moved these guys in position to try to come and take more land. It's just an effective way to get through the map to boost your overall VP. Because what's going to happen is when this game ends, we're going to get gold given to us. So like we can check right now, I'm at 368. We are going to have gold given to us by what place you're in on here. So I'll let you know. If I'm going to end in, I'm probably going to end in 4th place just because Heatso is also moving and advancing in a different area of the world. So while we're going through South America, they're going through Africa, and look, this is almost done here, and you can tell a very good 5-man crew that we're in there. All this stuff is all planned out. Like, there's no territories or cities that we're not trying to get to. That's why I'm pretty confident that we're going to take it. We already own the rest of the map, so it's a complete shutout here. And playing from Vietnam, look, I've pretty much abandoned and just left ships on the coast. With their coverage here, nothing's going to be really able to sneak by and land, and I'm pretty confident at this point in the game that we're not going to have. And look, three more bases built, another hospital in Padang. Now hospitals are super important because that's also going to raise the level of your city, right? So like you can see it's an 8, a 7, 7. This one's an 8, 7, 7, 7, 7. Like they start to get big. And what you'll notice is if I look over in India, I'm pretty sure he'll have some pretty big cities too. Yeah, see 8s and 7s. And then the other strategy for that is to build the hospitals, get the cities boosted, and then recruit. You're going to have an incredible population and incredible recruitment. There's also some annexing you can do. And I'm probably going to do, there's just so many topics on here on how to really maximize your gaming. But I'm going to stop for this video so that way we can put it out. I'll look towards making an intel video, and I'm going to look towards specifically looking at populations for recruitments and stuff, because I just think there's some topics where everybody can gain a little bit more knowledge from there. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hit like, subscribe, and let me know how things are going for you.